don't know, I'm sure some people do, that you were one of the first black directors. What was your first movie? And it's true that you did Deep Cover as well, right? Was that your first movie or?
My first movie was the Killing, well, the Killing Floor.
Okay.
And then after the Killing Floor, I think it was Deep Cover. And after Deep Cover, it was what was it? Cemetery Club. And after that, Hoodlum. No, Sister Act 2.
Okay.
After that, there was Hoodlum and some other movies. But I'll tell you a story. You're talking about race at that time. And, I was the first black director on Dallas, which was the most popular show at that time on TV. I was the first black director. And so my first day of going to work, I dressed with a little suit jacket and tie and everything. And I had an old car, but I got it washed and had my briefcase. And I drove up to the security gate and I rolled down my window. And the security guard looks in the window at me and he says, and I'm quoting now, he said, "Who are you delivering for?" I said, "What did you say?" He said, "Who are you delivering for?" Now, I said many times, I wanted to say I'm about to deliver a can of whip-ass to you. But if I had said that, I would have been the angry black man in Hollywood. So instead, I had seen a Dr. King on TV the night before, talking about inner peace, etc. And instead, I said, I'm delivering my talent as the first black director on Dallas. Please open the gate. The most gratifying thing was the look on his face.
No, you say you directed Dallas.
Yes, I was the first black director on Dallas.
Yeah, I think you were probably the first black anything around Dallas, because my dad used to watch that show, and I don't remember a damn black person nowhere near that. The God bless. That's wow. That's crazy. You were talking a little bit about how we got to hold ourselves accountable to violence that we kind of bring amongst each other. And I was going to ask you, when do you think that happened? Because you look at the 60s and the civil rights movement, and you look at the parties that we had, the Black Panther Party. We just seen the movie Jesus and the Black Messiah with Fred Hampton, and it was a great movie. And you've seen the camaraderie and the unity that we did have, and the steps in the right direction that we did have. And you also see on the back end, it was a systematic agenda to tear that down at all costs. And it seems like right around that time is when the violence started ensuing within. So why do you think, in your opinion, it went from unity within our community to chaos, for lack of a better term, in our community?
I think there are two factors, poverty and drugs. Mm-hmm. At some point, we didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were presented to us to collectively come together and creating a lot of our own businesses and stuff. We were depending upon everybody else's compassion for us. And so, as you know, that compassion is limited. So that was one thing. But once the hard drugs came into our community, I'm talking about heroin, crack cocaine and other drugs, which I think people took those drugs. I mean, I was on drugs too, so I understand. It's like you have a certain pain in you. You want the pain relieved. And so if something can relieve it for 2 or 3 hours, it treats the symptom, not the cause, but you take it because, at least for a little while, the symptoms are gone. But if it's an addictive drug, and you are in real pain, you will do whatever you need to do to get that drug, mm-hmm, to relieve that pain. So if it means shooting you or killing you or whatever, to get that money for my drugs, I will do that. Also, a lack of fatherhood in our homes. A lot of black women are raising black men. And, it's I know there are challenging circumstances, but I don't know if you saw this, but on Miss Von Zant's show on OWN, Oprah's network, around 3 years ago, they had, I think, these 5 or 6 young black men, and between the 5 or 6 of them, they had almost 60 children.
No, I never saw that.
You have to look it up. And there's a distinction between, see, a father, you're a father because you gave the sperm to have the child, right?
Yes, sir.
That doesn't mean you're a parent. A parent and a father are different things. And so we have children, but as black men, what percentage of us take care of our children? And I have friends who tell me, when I ask them this question, someone have 4 and 5 kids, someone will actually said to me, that's the only power I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, your first movie, Car Wash, where you played a black Muslim revolutionary, how'd you land that role? And can you take us back to that time?
I had a really good friend called Michael Schultz, and he and I were friends in New York. And he and Ivan Dixon, who's a great actor and a great human being, collaborated on Car Wash. And when the role for Abdullah came up, Michael told me to come in and talk to them, and I did. And I got the role. And Michael Schultz is still a great director, a great human being. And as I think you know, he created Cooley High and a lot of other great movies, you know. And so he was the reason I got Car Wash. Richard Pryor, you know, the Pointer Sisters, George Carlin. I mean, just it was a blast.
Absolutely.
What did Richard Pryor talk about him? How was that whole experience? And a lot of people say a lot of things about him. So how was your experience?
Richard Pryor was one of the most humble, funny people I've ever met. I mean, he has cracking up on the set. He was quiet sometimes, but when he said something, he was funny. And a really kind heart. He didn't come on as this big Richard Pryor guy. He came on as the Reverend Reverend Pimp he was supposed to be. And it was a collaborative experience. He was wonderful. I enjoyed working with him.
Now, another legend in the game, a legendary comedian and actor, and just pillar in our community when it comes to acting is Bill Cosby, and his name has been destroyed. It's not, I mean, it is what it is as of late. And now he's sitting in prison at almost 90 years old, if he's not 90 yet. And you see this happening, and this occurrence is happening more and more. We see now T.I. and Tiny. I don't know if you're aware of that, but now they're going through their set of drama, and it seems like it's going on a lot. So what's your whole thoughts on that? It's Bill Cosby.
It's not only Mr. Cosby, but I hope the day comes when there's equal treatment in terms of crimes. In other words, Bill Cosby is in prison. I think Harvey Weinstein, is he still on house arrest in his home, or is he in prison? I don't know.
I think he's home. Yeah.
He's still at home?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Dang, I don't know.
I don't want to
and some of these other people who have done as bad or worse things than Mr. Cosby, somehow, I'm not saying get a pass, but they get different treatment. And I'm not saying what Mr. Cosby did was right, but I do know that if you're a black celebrity, you're a target. And sometimes the people that you think have your back stab you in the back. And so, and there's always people out there looking to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were just waiting for a time. You know, I think when he tried to buy NBC, that was a time when folks, you know, said he was getting a little too uppity or whatever. So,
Huh. Yeah.